there guys, and welcome back to the channel. As always, thank you so much for clicking on this video and being here. I really do appreciate that. So we have 3 new movie topics to dive into in this video that I thought you guys would find interesting. So let's go through them and quickly briefly talk about what we're going to be getting into in this video. So up first, we're going to be talking about Sir Ian McKellen, who drops the bombshell that the Hunt for Gollum movie will now be split into 2 movies. So that's really exciting for all the Lord of the Rings fans out there. Up next, we're going to be talking about Disney. Disney is now being sued for using Peter Cushing's likeness in Rogue One. So that's a pretty important lawsuit that's going down. And then thirdly, we're going to be talking about the Masters of the Universe live action movie. And it looks like Oscar-winning actor Jared Leto could be up for the role of Skeletor, which is all kinds of insane. Jared Leto, very talented. I can't wait to see what he does with the Skeletor role if this news is in fact correct. So let's go back over to our first topic and let's jump into the Hunt for Gollum and see what's going on with that movie. So guys, the breakdown for this video, we're going to have a quick read of this comicbookmovie.com article, read some information about what's going on with the Hunt for Gollum movie, then we're going to check out some footage from this morning chat show where Sir Ian McKellen was being interviewed and he dropped the bombshell about the Gollum movie being split into 2 movies. So we will check out that footage in just a minute. So, Sir Ian McKellen drops a major bombshell about plans for Lord of the Rings, The Hunt for Gollum. I'm still very puzzled out of all the mythos, characters, kind of lore, backstories, and everything, you know, when it comes to the Lord of the Rings universe. Why did they choose Gollum as the central character? It still kind of bewilders me and a lot of other Lord of the Rings fans out there. But I suppose if they have a good story and a good, plan for what they're going to do with it, then I guess it makes sense. We don't know the context of this movie, so I guess it's hard to have an opinion. But still, it does befuddle me to some degree, I have to admit. So it was earlier this year that we learned that Warner Brothers plans for the Lord of the Rings, The Hunt for Gollum, a new movie set before the events of the Fellowship of the Ring, starring and directed by Andy Serkis. It's great that we're having a Gollum movie that's being directed by the guy who played Gollum himself, so that's great to hear. Philippa Boyens and Fran Welsh, who wrote the Lord of the Rings trilogy, are penning the screenplay. So we've got Gollum himself directing a Gollum movie, and we have the writers from the original Lord of the Rings trilogy coming back to write this as well. So if that doesn't get you excited as a Lord of the Rings fan, then I'm not sure what will. So where are we? Penning the screenplay along with Phoebe Grittins and RT, I can't say that name, so I apologize. The Lord of the Rings dwarf Rohirrim. Filmmaker Peter Jackson, meanwhile, is producing the project with the idea of being for this to usher in a new wave of big screen tales set in Middle-earth. So we've got the original writers from the original trilogy, we've got Peter Jackson producing, and we've got Andy Serkis, who played Gollum, directing it. So that lineup there is just all the more exciting, like I say, for any Lord of the Rings fan out there. But anyway, guys, with that down, I just wanted to go into that information a little bit, just for those of you who may not know about what's going on with the movie. So that's kind of the crew behind the scenes who are going to be making this movie. So let's go over and check out the footage and see what Ian McKellen had to say while he was being interviewed about playing Gandalf. So here we go, guys.
You're not working, but does that mean, Ian, that you're giving yourself enough time to be ready for the new Lord of the Rings? We just need to be sure.
Yes. Well, all I know is that they called me up and said these films were going to happen, that mainly going to be about Gollum. Andy Serkis, who played Gollum, is going to direct. And there will be a script arriving sometime in the new year. That's next year. And then I'll judge.
So let's just pause it there. So he's going to be receiving the script for this movie. I'm assuming it would be the first Hunt for the Gollum part 1, if there is indeed 2 parts, which he says there is. So he's going to be receiving the script in the new year for this movie, which is so exciting. He's going to get to read the script, and then he's going to see if he wants to take part.
Whether I want to go back.
Amazing.
But I would. I'd love to go back to New Zealand.
He said, I would. So he said, if I want to go back, then he said, I would. And he says, I love New Zealand. So it does sound pretty confirmed here. I would say 99% that he will be coming back to play Gandalf, which is so exciting.
And number one. And I also like the idea of anybody else playing
Absolutely.
Playing Gandalf.
No one did.
I love that. I don't like the idea of anybody else playing Gandalf. But when you put so much, joy and so much heart and so much commitment into the character, why would you want anybody else to play the character? So it does make sense.
Dare to, would they?
We don't want anyone else to
Don't
play.
forget there were 2 Dumbledores.
Oh,
There were,
that's
Yes, there
true.
was 2 Dumbledores.
I wouldn't like to arm wrestle you for a
Thank
role,
you.
though.
But there were 2 Dumbledores for a reason as well. And you're still very much with us, and we still. But is there more than one film then? It's not just. It's not.
I'm told it's 2 films. I probably shouldn't be saying that.
I know. Keep talking.
But I haven't read the script, and I don't know when it is, and I don't even know where it'll be filmed, because these days I could probably film it all in London.
So there you go, guys. He says it's 2 films. I probably shouldn't be saying this. So that's great. Whether he got in trouble for saying that or not, I'm not really sure. But then again, telling the public that there's going to be 2 films rather than 1, I mean, it's not giving anything away. You're not giving away any secrets, any plot, you're not giving away anything to do with the movies. The fact that you're telling people it's 2 movies rather than 1, it's not a big deal. I don't think the production company behind this would have a problem with him saying that. It's not a big deal in my opinion, but to them it may be, but I hope he didn't get in trouble for saying that. But yeah, guys, so that's kind of just the small footage there. There's not much else. Other than that, they just start talking about New Zealand and where it was filmed, and that New Zealand is his favorite country. And then it kind of goes into other topics that aren't really relevant to what we're talking about here. But yeah, I love Ian McKellen. He's such a classy act, and the fact that he just kind of spilled the beans with it being 2 movies is kind of great. So, that's quite the bombshell, though we perhaps shouldn't be too surprised. You recall The Hobbit was meant to be a 2-parter before becoming a trilogy. Warner Brothers knows it can make money with the franchise, so the hunt for Gollum playing out over 2 movies rather than just 1 has likely been the plan from the start. Yeah, I mean, Lord of the Rings, it holds a place of prestige in kind of cinematic fandom. Lord of the Rings is kind of like the highest echelon of movie making. It's going to make so much damn money, so of course they're going to make 2 movies rather than 1. It absolutely makes sense. Whether they're going to film them back to back, or whether they're going to do the first movie, see how it's received by the critics and audiences, and then in a few years time make the second part, we'll have to see how that goes. But it's to be determined whether they're going to film it back to back, like I say. But that's kind of where we are, guys. There's not much else to say other than that. A lot of the other stuff, like I said, that he was talking about in the interview isn't kind of relevant to what we're talking about here. But The Lord of the Rings, The Hunt for Gollum will be released in theatres in 2026. So, if that's true, we've got roughly about 2 years, a year and a half, 2 years to go until it's going to be out. So we've got a long wait yet, guys. But, I mean, it's a great time to be a pop culture fan these days. We've got a brand new Harry Potter HBO series coming up. We've got a brand new Lord of the Rings movies coming. We've got brand new Avengers movies coming. So, it's a great time, to be a pop culture fan. That's for sure. But I'm excited about this, guys. Jump into the comment section and let me know what you think about this. Are you excited for Sir Ian McKellen to come back as Gandalf in The Hunt for Gollum Part 1 and 2? And what do you think about the bombshell that is now going to be 2 movies instead of 1? Is that a good decision or a bad decision? Let me know down below in the comment section. So, guys, with that down, let's move on to our second topic here. This one could get a little bit messy. So we have a lawsuit against Disney for using Peter Cushing's likeness in Rogue One. So, they did get permission, but it's not as straightforward as you would think. So, Disney is going to trial for using Peter Cushing's likeness in Rogue One, a Star Wars story. So, let's dive into this and see if we can make sense about what's going on with this lawsuit. So, a legal battle that has been brewing for years is now going to trial, with a High Court in London ruling that Tyburn Film Productions can proceed with their lawsuit against Disney Lucasfilm for using the late Peter Cushing's likeness in 2016's Rogue One, a Star Wars story. So, the name of the company that is suing Disney is Tyburn Film Productions. They're the company that are going to be suing Disney, or trying to sue Disney, I should say. So, the Gareth Edwards directed movie, which went on to gross over $1 billion worldwide, and Rogue One, I would say, is better than what they did with any of the sequel trilogy. But then again, I guess the first movie that they did, The Force Awakens, that was quite good, but I still contend that Rogue One is better. Featured a return of New Hope's villainous Grand Moff Tarkin, with Industrial Light and Magic's advanced computer-generated technology to resurrect the legendary actor for several scenes. Let's just talk about this for a second. The kind of moral implications of resurrecting dead actors or actresses or singers and putting them into movies. I'm not sure how I feel with it. Like, I feel a bit weird about it. I'm not sure how you guys feel about it, but seeing a dead actor on screen being brought back to life, you know, through CGI or AI, it's very, very strange. It's very unsettling. It's very unnerving. And I'm not sure how I feel about it. So, it was one of the first examples of a studio employing what's come to be known as digital necromancy to bring a deceased actor's character back to the screen. But far from the last, it was always results in a significant amount of backlash. Most recently, the late Ian Holmes' likeness was used for an android in Alien Romulus. Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that. That was very, very creepy as well. It's that kind of uncanny valley where it looks like a video game and it looks like real life, but it's kind of somewhere in between. The human brain, we're very good at picking out human faces, and when there's something that's not quite right with a human face, there's like a red flag that goes off in the human brain, and you're looking at a CGI rendition of someone's face, but your brain's telling you it's not real. It's very uncanny valley. It's very kind of unnerving. And we also saw the spirit of Harold Ramis, Egon Spengler return in Ghostbusters Afterlife. Yeah, that's true. They used him as well. So here we go, guys. This is where we get down to the meat and potatoes of the story. In 2019, Tyburn Film Productions, which is run by one of Cushing's oldest friends, Kevin Francis, claimed that the company had entered into an agreement with the actor prior to his death, which would prevent the reproduction of his likeness through special effects without their consent. Disney has attempted to get the bid thrown out several times, but a judge has now ruled that the case will go to trial. So, Tyburn Film Productions is claiming that that Disney had to get permission from them to use Peter Cushing's likeness if they were going to put him into a film after he died. But you know, can they back up that claim that they had the rights to his likeness? You know, time will tell. So in his ruling, the judge said, while he was far from persuaded that Tyburn Film Productions would succeed in its claim, the case was not unarguable and a full factual inquiry was needed. So even though the judge himself says that Tyburn Productions don't have much of a case here, that he feels that they're probably not going to win when it comes to this claim about them having the rights to Peter Cushing's likeness, they're still going to go ahead with the trial. The judge still feels that there's an arguable case to be made, even though he feels that it probably won't be successful. It's still going to go to trial, and we'll have to wait and see what the outcome is. So the trial will now take place at a later date. So what do you think about this development? So yeah, guys, I know it's a bit messy and it's a bit hard to explain. I hope I've done a good job of trying to explain what's going on. So Tyburn Film Productions have claimed, let's just try and clear this up again before we move on to the next topic. So Tyburn Film Productions have claimed that Disney used Peter Cushing's likeness in Rogue One without their permission. Apparently, before Peter Cushing died, he made a deal with Tyburn Productions that Tyburn Productions holds the rights to sort of using Peter Cushing's likeness. Disney didn't ask Tyburn Films for his likeness in the film. Therefore, Tyburn is now suing Disney, you know, for not asking permission to use Peter Cushing's likeness. Even though Disney did contact Peter Cushing's estate, pay them a fee, and get permission from his estate, apparently they also needed to get permission from Tyburn Productions to use his likeness as well, which they didn't do. So I hope that's cleared up, guys. I've tried to be precise as possible. If you don't understand, or there's maybe something that I haven't explained very well, jump into the comment section. I'll reply to any of your comments and try and clear it up any further. But yeah, I do encourage you to look into the matter further, guys, if you still don't fully explain it. I tried my best to explain it, and I hope it does clear it up for you guys. It's a bit of a messy situation, but in all honesty, Disney have millions and billions of dollars, the best lawyers in the country. They're probably not going to be sued. This lawsuit probably won't be successful. But anyway, guys, with that down, jump into the comment section. Let me know what you think about this lawsuit. Do you think it's just Tyburn Productions, this, you know, production company? Are they just trying to get money out of Disney, or do they have a legitimate lawsuit here? Let me know what you think about this story down below. Can't wait to hear what you have to say, guys. So with that down, let's move on to our third and final topic of this video. So we're going to be talking about Masters of the Universe live action movie here. So a movie reportedly courting Jared Leto to play Skeletor. Yeah, of all the people that I thought that could play this character of Skeletor, I have to admit Jared Leto never came into my mind. But when you stop and think about it, Jared Leto, you know, he's played some great roles. You know, he's commonly known for the Joker. Even though there was a lot of backlash and people didn't enjoy him as the Joker, I still thought he did a good job with the script and the material that was given to him. And him using that kind of goofy nature of the Joker and kind of playing around and kind of putting that energy into a Skeletor character, I can kind of see it. And I think he might do a good job with it. But let's have a read here. So, as Amazon, MGM, and Mattel continue to cast the main roles for the upcoming live-action Masters of the Universe reboot, we may know which actor is in line to play the villainous Skeletor. The thing with Skeletor, he's become such a meme over the recent years that to do a serious kind of tone of Skeletor is going to be difficult because, like I said, he's just known as a meme now floating around on the internet. So it's going to be hard to get that out of people's mind, that whole meme of Skeletor, you know? So, according to Jeff Snyder, none other than Jared Leto from Morbius, Suicide Squad, Blade Runner 2049 has been offered the role. If he accepts, Leto will join the recently cast Alison Brie from Glow and Community as Evil Lynn, Nicholas Galitzine from Purple Hearts, Red and White and Royal Blue, The Idea of You, as Prince Adam and He-Man, and Riverdale alum Camila Mendez as the right-hand woman and possibly love interest Tila. So, previous rumors have claimed that Sacha Baron Cohen, let me start that again. Previous rumors have claimed that Sacha Baron Cohen, I did get it right that time, from Borat and Les Mis, was in contention to play the iconic baddie. I mean, Sacha Baron Cohen, I keep saying that name wrong. I think he would be great in that role. I mean, he's got the comedic timing, he's got serious background in acting. I think he's really underrated as an actor these days, and I think he could do a great job as Skeletor. He-Man's nemesis was played by Frank Langella in a previous live-action movie and voiced by Star Wars legend Mark Hamill in a recent Netflix Masters of the Universe Revelation series. After numerous false starts, Netflix was also set to develop a feature take on the beloved animated series back in 2022, but we recently got word that the latest attempt to get the project off the ground had fallen by the wayside. So, however, we'd later learn that Amazon and MGM Studios had acquired the movie, with Bumblebee director Travis Knight. That gets me super excited. The director of Bumblebee, one of the best Transformers movies in recent years. Travis Knight did a fantastic job with that movie, so it gets me more excited to see what he can do with Masters of the Universe. Travis Knight in talks to helm. The movie is now set to hit theaters June 5th, 2026. So we've got just under 2 years to go until we actually see this movie, if it keeps this release date as it's listed here. But yeah, guys, this movie is definitely coming together. So we've got Alison Brie, we've got Nicholas Galitzine, we've got Riverdale actress Camila Mendez. So yeah, they've definitely building out the core cast of characters here, and adding Jared Leto to the cast as Skeletor, I think is exciting. He's an Oscar caliber actor. He's gonna raise the material. I think he would do a great job, and I think it's a good pick for this character. But we'll have to wait and see how this plays out over the next few weeks or months to see if this role of Jared Leto as Skeletor does become confirmed. Because at this point, there's nothing confirmed. It's not coming from the actor. It's not coming from a reputable source like The Hollywood Reporter or Deadline. And there's nothing from the production company. So we'll have to wait and see if this rumor is in fact true and does play out. Because I think it would be great. And I'm getting more and more excited to see this Masters of the Universe live action movie. So guys, jump into the comment section. Let me know what you think about this. Would you be excited to see Jared Leto come in and play Skeletor? Or do you think it's a bad choice on the casting in terms of Skeletor? Whatever your thoughts are, jump into the comment section and let me know down below, guys. Thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you leave your thoughts, comments, and opinions on everything we've covered in this video. I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say. As always, thank you so much for being here. Hit that like and subscribe before you leave, and I will see you in the next one.